Hey everybody, stay tuned for the Chazman Show. We're going to go over the weekend box office. My predictions were correct. And guess what today is? Stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chazman Show. My name is Chaz Riddle, and this is Monday, April 15th. It's tax day. Did everybody file their taxes? I know they probably didn't, but I bet everybody watched Game of Thrones last night. Season premiere. Next show is going to be on April 21st. And while I haven't watched all of the Game of Thrones stuff, I'm catching up. So we'll do a report on that as soon as I get caught up. I'm up to speed on what's happening there with Jon Snow and all those wonderful characters. And anyhow, but like I said, today is the weekend box office review, so here we go. Shazam! It came in exactly where I thought it was going to be, which is #1 in its second week. It did fall 53%, but it still brought in $25 million. And let's take a look here. $94 million total domestically, and worldwide $221 million. So not too bad for the guy that's the original Captain Marvel. By the way, the Captain Marvel, the female version starring Brie Larson, came in at 6th place in its 6th week. The $1.064 billion, 386 million domestically. So, man, this Marvel universe is really kicking butt out there. And we are only 10 days away from the first showing of Avengers Endgame. Now, it really starts on April 26th, but they've moved back from that. A lot of the movie theaters where you used to go to the midnight showing, which was always at midnight, they moved it back to 10 o'clock, and then 7 o'clock, and then 5 o'clock, and so forth. But anyhow, I'll be in the first show around 6 o'clock p.m. on the 25th, checking out Avengers Endgame, and then I'm going back the next day, and I'm going to watch it again because, you know, with the crowds being, you know, you're loud, you're jubilant, the community experience, that communal feeling of being in the movies, I can only imagine that I'm going to miss a ton of the dialogue and the things that are going to happen. This is a 3-hour movie, and you know, people moving around, taking bathroom breaks, and so on and so forth. It's going to be one of those things where you're going to have to see it twice to catch everything. Minimum twice. So I'm going and the 25th and the 26th. So we're, like I said, we're only 10 days away from that that first showing. Now, some people are going to be seeing the movie on the 24th. Mostly the critics. So they'll have you know, kind of a jump on things. People that are, you know, YouTubers that have more than 150,000 subscribers probably will go to that showing if they're in an area where they can go, so they can do their reviews and get them out there, because YouTube is growing. It's getting big. Now, there is a lady out there. I wasn't going to go there, but there's a lady out there who does a show similar to this right here. She's got 875,000 subscribers. Let me tell you something. She looks like Woodstock, remember from the Peanuts cartoons, and she screeches like a hoot owl when she gives a review. But people are tuning in. So let's see what we can do with this channel. Now, in this past month, I've grown by 5 subscribers. You know, 5 subscribers times 12 months is 60 subscribers, and I think it'll just, you know, we keep going. So I'm going to ask you guys to help me with that. Share this video, like this video, tell your friends about it, subscribe, all those good things. Ring the bell for the notifications, all those good. But let's keep building it up so that, you know, we have a nice community of our own here. And I ask you, to join me on the comments down below. Send an email, the chazmanshow@gmail.com. Let me know what you're thinking. Tell me about your favorite movie. Tell me about your favorite TV show. We'll talk all sorts of things. I promise you I'll get back to you. But anyhow, back to the box office. Like I said, Shazam brought in $25 million. It fell 53%. The biggest loser out there, but he still came in 4th place, was Pet Sematary. It fell 59.2%. Still brought in $10 million in 4th spot in its 2nd week. Now, we had some debuts out there. Little brought in $15.5 million, beating Hellboy. Hellboy only brought in $12 million in its debut week. So all the good press for the actors, David Harbour, is being maligned by the fact that the movie is just not that good. There's a lot of great sequences in the movie, but cumulatively, some of it doesn't add up. So, and you can take a look at Rotten Tomatoes if you want to get more perspective on this. But anyhow, in fourth place, like I said, was Pet Sematary, $10 million with a drop of 59.2%. And coming in number 5 was Dumbo with $9 million in its third week. Now, let's see here. Again, Captain Marvel, 6th place. Pretty respectable for being out there for 6 weeks. This movie has legs. So I don't know that it's going to do the same. It's going to have the same longevity as Black Panther. Black Panther was out there. Black Panther is, I think, somewhere around $700 million. I'd have to check the stats, but it's over. I believe it's 700 million or over domestically. It's definitely in the billion-dollar club. People are drawn to something that's different. That's why Captain Marvel's going to do. That's why Wonder Woman did so well. Wonder Woman did over $800 million domestically, or excuse me, worldwide. Captain Marvel is already in the billion-dollar club. A female-led superhero. You know, this is incredible. This is telling the movie makers they want something different. They want a different type of superhero out there to represent their demographic. And I think it's great. So anyhow, for the kid in us though, Shazam finished out number 1, $25 million, $94 million domestically. So Zachary Levi can plan on being in a sequel. I mean, that was actually, spoiler alert, it was all set up by the first movie with the Shazam family. The Shazamily is out there. So that was kind of cool. Spoiler, if you haven't seen the movie, you really should. But there is some nice unifying themes throughout Shazam, and I think it's why it's doing so well. Plus, not a whole lot of competition. Now, is there anything coming up in the next couple of weeks that's going to dominate the box office? Nothing next week, and then the week after that, oh, I got an update on my phone there. And the week after that, of course, as I've said and I've stated over and over again, everybody's going to be watching Avengers Endgame. Okay, so, and to sum up Endgame again, will it break $300 million for the opening weekend? Mathematically, it just doesn't work, guys. The runtime is 3 hours and 2 minutes, so you got 25 minutes of previews, you got another 10 minutes of commercials, you got some cleaning involved. So let's just say that there are 4 hours per showing. And, you know, let's say you put it in 4,200 theaters, or it's shown on 4,200 screens. Still, I mean, there's only so many hours in the day, okay? So at most, per screen, you can show that movie 6 times. 6 times 4 is 24, isn't it? 6, 12, 20, yeah, 6 times 4 is 24. There's a math genius, I'm a genius up here. So you got, you can only show the movie 6 times on that particular screen, per day. So based on the average movie ticket price, let's say it's $12.50 to $15, and the average seating capacity per theater is 250 people. Okay, it's just not mathematically feasible for it to break $300 million unless they add screens. And because if you take a look at the trend, and we talked about this last week, when Avengers came out, its opening weekend was $207 million on, let's see, 4,349 screens. Age of Ultron came out a couple years later on less screens, 4,276 screens, 4,276 screens, and guess what? The amount of money on that opening weekend was $191. So there's a direct correlation to the amount of screenings to the amount of money being made. So Infinity War was on 4,474 screens last year. It brought in $257 million on its opening weekend. So, and that had a runtime of 2 hours and 20 some odd minutes. So with Avengers Endgame coming out being almost, well, over 3 hours, the only way it's ever going to break $257 million is if you increase the number of screens. Butts in the seats, guys. That's the end of it. That's the end all. That is the end game as far as results. Butts in the seats. So, and I think that everybody and their brother is going to go see this movie. So, and again, I'll go out on a limb here. It's not going to break $257 million. It's not going to go. It's not going to go to $300 million this week or the weekend that it comes out, unless they add screens. But I will definitely say that it's going to be in the $2 billion club. And my prediction, $2.2 billion. Anyhow, guys, that's my video for this Monday morning. Make sure your taxes are done by midnight or file for an extension. I hope you're recovering from Game of Thrones. I know some people have Game of Thrones jet lag at this point because they had after parties and things like that. Everybody wants to talk about it. So I hope you had a good time watching Game of Thrones last night. Do your taxes, and I'll see you again in a couple of days for another video. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you for everything, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.